you seem to come out with maybe even a little extra energy or extra something today, and I wonder if some of that was missing the last game, if some of that was just feeling the sand running out of the hourglass, or what was different for you today that enabled you to get off to the start you did?
I would say there's just an urgency. Obviously Bruce wasn't playing, and I think, like you said, not playing last game and the way the guys picked up each other, I felt like we had to have that same type of energy, and I think, like you said, there is a sense of urgency. And I got 3 guaranteed games left in college basketball, and my goal is, we're going to do whatever it takes to win all those games and maybe even more. So I think there's a sense of urgency for us, and I think you can see how good this team can really be, and there's still room for improvement. And it's exciting, but there's still work to be done, and I think there's goals to be accomplished, and we're ready to go, and we're ready to attack this thing tomorrow again.
What did it take for you guys to collectively make up for Bruce not being there?
Yeah, I think it's just connectedness. You got to be connected as a unit, connected as a group, and you don't need to be playing hero ball. And I think that's the biggest thing, is that's the same thing we did last time with me out at Michigan State. It was a collective team effort, and if you have that, and with the guys we have, the talent we have, I mean, you saw it today and you saw it last game, that is there a limit? That's the question you got to ask.
Jamison, what's been your kind of reaction with these freshmen stepping up down the stretch? Devin, Scotty, I feel like Scotty really found his stroke today. You've been around college basketball for a long time. It's hard to stay with it as freshmen.
No, for sure. I think there's ups and downs, and I think they faced ups and downs this season. But I think last game really showed their maturity and how much they've grown this season. For Devin to step up, to be in at the last minute at Michigan State. For Scotty, just the activity that he has and the mentality that he has, it rubs off on everybody. And he's a freshman. So put that into perspective, just on how hard he works and what he does as a freshman. It's special to see, and I'm excited to see how both of them learn and grow. And you still got Taste and Austin, who maybe are not playing, but every day they're coming in working hard, and they're making sure that they're not going unnoticed either.
Is the ankle good?
Yeah, I done rolled my ankle so many times. It heals pretty quick.
What was your kind of reaction to see Jamison come out as hot as he did?
Man, we've seen this all year. Honestly, we've seen this through summer and preseason. Like, he has the capability to get hot. I mean, when a guy like that gets that hot, you got to feed the hot hand. So, it was his night. Quite as kept. Every night is his night. So, just finding him in some of his spots, and he was able to make plays.
Jamison, I kind of wanted to confirm something I saw now. When Roddy was going to the line after you hit the floater to get, down the stretch there, and the game was pretty well in hand, it looked like he turned to the front row of the crowd and said, "I'm him," a couple of times. Was that what was said, or was it something
No,
else?
I was just looking at a few of my buddies in the crowd. One of my boys from Minnesota came down, so I was looking at him, and then one of my buddies from Columbus, Matt Moyer, was looking at him as well, just to let him know that we're not done. And you can say I'm him, but it's a collective effort. I won't take all the weight on my shoulder, but it's a collective effort. I know this team wants more than just to end the season after the Big Ten tournament.
Just the emotion you played with in this game too. You express yourself on the court, quite often, but it just felt like you were pumping up the crowd a lot. You were talking to some people out there. When did it settle in for you? You said earlier about it, only having 3 games left. When did that settle in for you, and was that sort of a driving force behind your passion in this one?
I think if you just look at the calendar, it's February 29th today. Tomorrow's March, and I think that's the biggest thing is the madness begins tomorrow, and we're not ready to fold. We're not ready to go home, and I think that's the mentality that we have, is like March is upon us, and let the madness begin.
Roddy, can you kind of speak to that too? Let the madness begin.
Like Jamo said, I think we all just play with a sort of edge to us, kind of that nastiness we talked about in the beginning of the year. It came alive, and miracles are made in March, so why not be the underdog?
Jamison, you hit your first 3 threes, I believe, and then you missed 4, and then you made, I think, 2 straight layups. Getting going from behind the 3 obviously is good, but when it cools off, how important is it to be able to impact other things? I think you had the rebound by the Scotty's 3, things like that, when maybe the shots don't fall, getting it back.
Yeah, I think it's just impacting the game at different levels. Obviously I'm a good shooter, but when the shot's not there, you got to find different things to do. And I think whether it's playing off your shot, whether it's getting offensive rebounds, whether it's getting defensive stops, defensive rebounds, there's so many more things you can do in basketball than just shoot. And as time has progressed in my career, I've realized that I'm not just a shooter. That people can label you as that, people can say this and that, but in the end, there's so much more that you can do to impact basketball games than just shoot.
For both of you, and I don't want to take anything away from Coach Holtman, but 3-1, the wins that you guys have had, what has been different as a collective team that has allowed these wins to happen that maybe wasn't happening earlier in the year?
I would just say, it's adversity that we faced. Obviously, the coach was fired, and in adversity, how do we respond? And I think I've talked about this, every time I'm up here, is response and staying present in the moment. So I think that's just what we're doing. We're a collective group, and with that, in adversity, you got to band together as brothers, and I think that's what we've done so far. And through that, we're all looking at each other just to make the next step and just to continue to play, because in the end, we don't know what's promised. We don't know what the future looks like, so why not just focus on the present moment?
You guys, I know Bruce not playing was like coming down like the last hour or two before the game. Is he gonna play? Is he not gonna play? Dale plays 33 minutes today, second most he's played all year, just behind the double OT game. He didn't score, but how do you think Dale handled that today, stepping into a role that he's not been the, hey, you're the point guard today, you're the guy today? How do you think he did?
I think he put the weight on his shoulders just to be like kind of our floor general. When Dale's in the game, he allows us to play like aggressive, very fast, just using his speed to get downhill and be able to get out in transition for easy baskets. We've been talking about playing fast all year, but with Dale in the game, not saying that Bruce don't play fast, it's just saying that Dale, with his speed, he's just able to do things that many other people weren't able to do. So his stats may not have said that Dale played a great game, but Dale was the difference maker for me, honestly.
And Jamison in that first half, you hit 3 in like a minute and a half. What's the policy with the coaching staff on heat checks? When you take one that's 6 or 7 feet behind the line after you've knocked down a few in a row, does Diebler give you a pass? How does that work typically?
I think honestly, I don't know. I feel like if you hit a few, he's a shooter too. You got to think about that. So I think we haven't really talked about it, but I think it's a common courtesy when it comes to a fellow shooter, taking that heat check. But I'm always looking, like, if I take a bad one, I'm letting my teammates know immediately. I know there was one, maybe I was on the turn or something like that, and I'm looking like, shoot, that's my bad, fellas. Let's go get a stop. Let's make the next play. And that's the mentality you got to have. Can't dwell on one shot because there's so much more of the game left. And I think my teammates have the utmost confidence in me to take those types of shots. So in that, why would I not take those types of shots? So as long as there's trust and there's a trust factor between the coaches and between the players, and you're getting found in the right spots, there's no reason why you shouldn't be able to take those types of shots.
I don't think we have any more interviews between now and when you guys play on Sunday. So you guys have senior day and Michigan coming to town and the team that got you guys up there. Jamison, you've talked about what's still ahead of you, but what is this opportunity now on Sunday mean to get Michigan at home on senior day?
Yeah, it means a lot. Obviously, like you said, they got us on Martin Luther King Day, and we remember that, left a bad taste in our mouth. And obviously, facing the team up north, it's big, it's personal, and I think we're going to take that to heart. We'll be right back at it tomorrow, and the next 2 days, be ready for prep.
What do you think?
Great opportunity to be able to defend our home. I think we've done a tremendous job this year, being able to play really aggressive at home and being able to defend the shot, and I think we will continue to do so.
And just for you personally, what was different without having Bruce? Having to, responsibilities being shouldered by a bunch of different guys, but how did that change when they were asking you to do it for the course of the game?
With the loss of Bruce, I know that my voice needed to be echoed. Like, I can't, be the quiet guy I'm usually, because with Bruce, his leadership and his voice just carries a long way. So, without him, like, I kind of had to step up in that role, be able to, get on my teammates, especially younger guys, and being able to voice my opinions a lot more. I think I've gotten better at that throughout the season, and I'm praying that he gets better. I talked to him after the game; he's very excited. So, hopefully we can have him next game.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys.